All right, we're joined now by one of our very good friends. It's Field Yates from ESPN here at the NFL Scouting Combine. And Field, obviously a disappointing end to the season last year for the Chiefs, but what a stretch of football this has been for them. I mean, 4 straight AFC title game appearances, 6 straight division titles. We want to keep this going now into 2022. In order to do that, what are some position groups, some areas they could focus on in the upcoming draft?
Yeah, so a couple thoughts here. First of all, setting a standard like the Chiefs have causes two things. One is that it means a lot of football games won, and two, it means that when you go nearly the distance but you don't make it all the way, there's more frustration, whereas other teams make it to the AFC Championship game will consider it a crowning achievement, right? So it's almost like a high society problem, but they've done an incredible job, and certainly starts at the top with unbelievable leadership and strong front office, Brett and his company, and then Andy, who's one of the very best ever to coach. That's the reality of where the Chiefs are going to be going forward, is that they're going to have big opportunities, and when they capitalize, we're going to say, I told you so, and then when they don't, people are going to say, they're going to gravel over it, but that's okay. Before the draft comes, one of the unique things about the NFL versus the NBA as an example is that we do have free agency in advance of the draft. So I want to be mindful of the fact that some of the things that I may mention could become moot or could become magnified by how things unfold in free agency. But as things presently stand, we all know as an example that their most versatile defensive player, Tyrann Mathieu, is going to be a free agent unless they use a franchise tag or get a deal done with him. And if he's gone, then you have to examine that safety spot. That's an incredibly essential part of the equation that you have to potentially address. And then I think wide receiver is a spot that we have to monitor. And it's obviously Tyreek Hill, who's going to be their number one wide receiver, probably for a long time still. But you have to be mindful of the pieces around him. Who are the number 2, number 3 wide receivers? Because it felt like at times this year when you weren't able to get a ton out of Tyreek and Travis, what are you getting out of the next men up? And there were some games where guys like Mecole Hardman did show, and then there were games where collectively that group wasn't probably as prolific as the Chiefs may want it to be. So I do think wide receivers in a position to keep an eye on. The offensive line was addressed, pretty good shape there, assuming Orlando Brown Jr. stays, either on a franchise tag or a long-term deal. You're in good shape there, but I think that wide receiver and then sort of the secondary, and then maybe some linebacker spots as well. Anthony being released, played a ton of snaps for them, was a team captain, so you're going to have to find a way to either develop somebody or potentially plug them in with a draft pick or a free agent signing.